Alright, I'm just gonna re-record the whole attacking part of the flips because it was all ill-explained, so to recap, you want to know the basic spin, you want to know the basic backwards spin, you want to know the figure eights, all four of them. You want to know the candle switch, you want to know the figure eight backwards, you want to know this one, you want to know the senseless, and the lotus. Okay? Okay. I'm going to start off with the basic spin into attack. Now there's three different attacks you can do. There is the top, there is the side, and there is the stab. Now, with the basic one, you want to do a basic spin, and once you get here, you want to do an assisted. Okay, let me restart that. All right, basic one would be this way, or that. Okay, so non-assisted basic attack would be a basic spin, and once you get so the blade is facing behind you, that is when you want to do the attack. And bring it forward, okay? Like that. Now, I am no Shadiversity, I don't know the basics of sword etiquette, so I am essentially self-taught and have no idea how to properly do anything. So, don't hate on me because I don't know the proper form, or I don't know form 1, or 2, or 3, or 4, or whatever, okay? So, once your blade is behind you, that is when you commence with an attack. But with the stab, it would be once you're here. Well, when you want to do the stab, you bring it back, then forward. Now the assisted one, you also want to know the assisted moves. So the assisted one would be the same principle. You want to attack once the blade is this way. Okay? And then with the stab, you want to bring it behind you. Now, same principle with this one, but with the backwards flip, except this time it is up, again, side, or the stab one's a little bit weird. The stab one you need to have two hands on, so you can't really necessarily do a stab, oopsies, what am I doing, when you're not doing the assisted flip. Now the assisted one would be this, forward, and the stab is this. Now, maybe you're wondering, hey, that's not a stab. Well, first of all, there's a thing that I like to call the defensive stabs, which is when you stand this way, or this way, with it like this. Now, you can block, or you can attack. Okay? So, you want to get into the defensive stance if you want to do a stab. So you can go forward, and you can also, it's freezing outside, you can also attack backward if you're getting double teamed by somebody. So, now it would be like this. So, you want to do the assisted backwards, and once you get down here, that is when you want to change your guard to this, so you can do this or whatever. Okay, so it would look like this, something like that. So now that you know this, okay, and that, okay, now we can move on to the other things, which are the senseless attacks. Okay, actually no, I'll quickly do over the figure eight ones. They're just like extending your arm a bit more, and they're a little more not so useful. This is about what Kylo Ren does, I guess. But they're still an attack either way. Okay? I'll get on to this one. Now, there's not much you can really do without an assisted strike. You can still do the figure eight strikes. You can still stab. Okay, with the assisted one, it's a little bit more useful because you have this kind of grip. If you have this kind of grip, it's a little more uncomfortable. If you have this kind of grip, though, you can do a slash, switch your guard into the proper kind, so you get something like this. Okay. This guard is pretty much useless. Okay? This is useless. So that's why I'm not going to go over it much. No. With the senseless, there's not much. You can do a normal senseless into a top, into a side, but the cooler way to do it, the way that you guys probably want to learn, is this. Uh-oh, I lost my balance. Is this. Now, this is not really useful, but also not really useless, because you are still guarding your back, and then you still come out with the strike. But the problem is that it's not really that accurate, because your opponent could move without you seeing them. There's also the one where you go into the stab, which gains a little more ground. I'll stand back a bit. So, that is that one. So go over it slowly. Do a senseless spin, and once you're here, senseless spin, that's when you bring it out, and then slash. Okay? Now, that's that one. I'll do it again, just for safe measure. That one. Oh, lost balance. Next thing that you're going to want to do, really, this is going to be a 6-minute video? That's a lot faster than the other one. Alright, next one would be the, what's it called? The, forgot, the lotus attack. So there's 2 different lotus ones. So you're going to want to start off in this position. Now, actually no, you want to start off in this position. Now you can go like this. So when you're here, you go into here, you can either attack this way, or this way, okay? Now, the lotus is a little more, this one is like, makes it look like you're gonna do an overhead strike, which is not very useful, so that's why the lotus is something that you're going to want to block behind you to do an attack. So it would look like this. I'll actually go backwards a bit. Something like that. Now, this is, if you're left-handed, you go clockwise to get the strike in. Okay? You have to do, so in order to do the strike, you go clockwise if you're left-handed, though I'm assuming almost everybody watching this is right-handed. You go counterclockwise for one if you're going to strike if you are right-handed. Now, there's another one where if you go clockwise if you're left-handed, wrong way, if you go counterclockwise, you can get into, oh wait, that's not right, you can get into a defensive stance, which then you can go into the stab, or you can go into a hit, whichever way. Okay, if you're right-handed, you must go, wait, okay, if you go counterclockwise, just give me a second. Okay, if you go clockwise, this is confusing. I've never done this one right-handed. Alright. You get into the defensive stance if you go clockwise, where you can then do whatever, go behind you, or stab. Okay? So, to recap, if you're left-handed, go clockwise for an attack, like that. So, like that. And go counterclockwise for a defensive stance. So, like that. You could go into block, whatever, or a attack, stab, and this is how, I'd say this is the most useful out of all of them, besides just going into the normal defensive stance out of whatever stance you're in. So, yeah. And I'll just go over all of them really quickly. Again, this. Oops, something's loose. This. 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 That's a little close. That. This. This. I'm not sure if you could really do much here. I guess you can do this, you know? You've also got the senseless stuff. Lotus stuff. It's a little close. Lotus. Other Lotus things. And yeah, so therefore, I feel like that I've covered most of the things, except for the backward stab. This one, I mean, you couldn't do that. This one doesn't, it has its uses, but I don't think that lightsaber duels are going to be fought 2 against 1 in championships. Yes, those are a thing, because God knows why. Because I don't really see a use for this one. Unless you want to go full on Orochi and somebody's throwing a top attack at you, and you gracefully dodge into it and deflect it, go up here, and then you decide to do that. It's really got no uses except if you want to play it a little risky and do that. So yeah, again, I'm no Shadiversity. I don't know, like, I literally know nothing about how to actually swing a sword, so this is what you're getting, I guess. So yeah, I guess that is the end of this. I guess the last thing that I could do is just a bunch of things with, I don't remember how to, I remember I used to be able to go into a jab, into a senseless. Just a second. Oh god, that didn't work. Yeah, let's go back here. Alright. I don't know. Yeah, that's the end of this tutorial part 2 thing. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and I probably won't see you guys anytime soon, because upload schedules are not a thing for me, so goodbye.